welcome everyone. I will be solving a small issue in r2dec in this video. So the purpose of this video is to resolve a request from many people from the Radare community along the time that they want to contribute, but they used to be scared about the code base, not understanding well the process of making pull request patches, finding the specific point where the bug is. So the idea is that I will be creating short videos resolving simple issues. And this one is basically recently introduced after a change in the Radare code base. Because historically I was using offset as a way to determine the address of anything. So it was using offset for determining the function address or the symbol location in memory and things like that. So offset is clearly not the right name because offset denotes a delta starting from one specific starting point. So what I'm introducing in the 6.0 release is changing and basically addressing the name and changing all the references to offset to address. And this change basically broke r2dec. I will show you the current error that we get. So we open /bin/ls, we analyze the function, then we use pdd. We'll see that we get a crash. The thing is that this crash is not very descriptive, but we can basically enable that option and run pdd again. And now we get the proper backtrace in the JavaScript code base of r2dec. So what I will do now is basically clone the repo. We have the URL here, so we can just clone that. I will go into my PRG, which is the folder that I use for coding. And I will name that r2dec for not overwriting the other repo. To build r2dec, just need to use Mason and Ninja. Running Mason B will be creating the build directory, and now we can just run Ninja -C and then B to build the thing. Then for testing this, we can just copy the plugin into the local share r2 plugins directory, which is the directory that you can find in the uppercase IH command line flag in Radare. So this is this command line flag will show you all the environment variables or all the paths that can be handy for writing shell scripts or tools that install plugins for Radare. And most of these variables are used by r2pm, which is the package manager of Radare. You can use r2pm r2dec to build r2dec from Git and install it in your home. But as long as we are now developing and testing r2dec from local, we just run copy. We copy the plugin directly like this. Okay, so let's try again and see what happens with the last build from Git. Run AF and then just pdd and we get the same crash. Okay, so now let's check out the source code for this. We have to check the backtrace, and we see that the first line that probably makes sense to be handling this problem is that the long.js file is basically processing long numbers. The reason for that is because JavaScript doesn't support 64-bit numbers, so libdec is providing an abstraction to that, so it's able to work with big numbers here. So I will check the other file, which is the instruction.js at the line 95. I open the file, then :95, and we'll go there. As you can see, this line is using long from, which is a method from the long.js file, and then it's using data offset, which is coming as a first argument to the function. So let's assume, or let's check other fields that are coming from this data. We can just that data to colon, and we'll see that there is jump type ptr and xrefs, etc. So as you can see, you can probably assume that this data dot comes from the output of AO. If you analyze one instruction, which is AO, you get this information. But if you do that with the ending the comment with a J, you basically get the JSON representation. So in that case, we have the opcode, the disassembly, we have the address, byte, etc. And actually this address is the thing that changed. So as you can see, r2dec is assuming that this field is named offset instead of address. So as long as the JSON representation changed here, let's make a random guess and a blind check, and then patch this like this. So what this code is doing in JavaScript is checking if the data.address field inside the data object is not null. And if so, it will be picking this one. Otherwise, we'll be using the data offset one. So let's save the thing. Let's build the thing again. As you can see, we need to build Mason again. And then I will copy the file again. I'm using Ctrl-R to complete command line comments in the shell. And after typing this, I can just AF and PDD. And you can see that the decompilation is working again. Okay, so what can we do now? We probably need to check the patch. You can use git diff for that. And create a new branch. I will say like fix address offset. And after that, I will just commit the thing. Fix last crash introduced by r2, renaming offset into address. And after that, you can see that there is the our last commit introduced here, and we can now push. The thing is that we cannot push in this branch because we are not the owners of the original repository. So we need to go to GitHub, create a fork, and after that, we'll create a new branch in our repository, like this. We'll just git push, and as you can see, there is a new branch in the remote repository. After that, we need to go to the this website and create a pull request to the original repository. And that's it. With that, I hope that you learned some stuff and you identified new points for learning how to start contributing to the project, fixing bugs in third-party projects or plugins for Cloudari. And probably next time you can probably contribute in a much better way. Hope that helps everyone, and see you in the next video.